Wow. So nervous. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I appreciate all of you, and especially my family. My mom came all the way from my hometown to be here, to be able to see me on stage. Yeah? Okay, let me introduce you again. My name is Nhi. My full name is Pham Ngoc Thuy Nhi, and I'm currently a second-year student here at UEF. And I am so proud to be standing here today. Yeah. Okay, so about my topic, what am I going to show you today? Now, a couple of hours ago, I had a major sore throat, and I was so nervous. I had a little minor panic attack. And then literally 2 seconds after that, after I acknowledged my pain, a question pops up in my head. Oh, darn it. What if I'm gonna screw up my TED Talk today? What am I gonna do? Literally 2 seconds after that. So we all have that feeling, right? That nagging voice inside of our heads with two simple words. What if? What if? We always have that question in our mind. Now, take a look up here. What do you see in this picture? A lot of universes, a lot of possibilities. Okay, so we often think that what if thoughts usually showed up just before our big moments, before a big presentation, before a first date, or before a job interview, right? But that's just not it. The truth is that it exists in all of our daily life tasks. You're making a coffee? Oh, what if I forgot to lock the doors? The burglar might come in. Oh no. Or you're driving to work. What if I got stuck in traffic and then I missed that important meeting? Or when you're cooking, what if this tastes bad? I think I just throw it all in and eat takeouts, right? It all exists all around us. And then we have bigger thoughts. What if I chose a wrong career? What if I'm not supposed to be standing here today? Big decisions. And those thoughts, they pull us out of our reality, our present moments, and then it drew our minds into something that we called hypothetical problems that haven't even happened yet. And it screws up our minds. It erodes our confidence. It steals our peace. And we let it get into our heads. Okay. I'm a bit shaky now. But that's okay. I'm here to share with you. Now, for my topic, I was very confused about my outline for this idea. And then one day I called my friend, one of my dear friends, Vian Rus, and he read my outline and he said, Nhi, please read this book. I think it will help you. And that is the collected work of Carl Jung. So I spent 2 hours reading about Carl Jung. This one right here, his collected works. And then it's like a light bulb moment for me right there. A light bulb moment, moment. I understand it now. This is exactly what I've been looking for. This exactly explains what I've been experiencing. So what are they? So after exploring all of his work, I came to a conclusion that two major concepts that are the primary drivers to what I'm experiencing, to your what if thoughts. So they are the ego and the shadow. So you can see on the diagram right there. So what are the ego and the shadow? Now before I go really deep into this, I have a small disclaimer for all of you. A small disclaimer. So the MC already introduced to all of you, and I already told you too, I'm just a university student. So who am I to tell you about this? Well, this TED Talk solely is just for my purpose. Okay, my purpose in this TED Talk is to connect. I try for connection with all of you. I am not the speaker and you are not the audience anymore. We are here to bond and connect. So you are listening to my stories, and if what am I telling you today can help you or you feel related, I am glad that I can help. I am glad that can be your company here today. And I hope you enjoy that. I'm not talking under the scope of a scholar or an experienced researcher. I am your friend now, and we all have the same minds. Okay, so without further ado, to explain the ego and the shadow, I want you to follow my voice right here. Follow my voice. Now, imagine a house in your mind. Draw a house, whatever house you like. An apartment, a villa, blah, blah, blah. Now, the first part of the house is your ego. It can be any room, the living room, the kitchen. And those rooms are places, areas that you want to show your visitors. Rooms that you flash up with decorations. You organize it, you make plans for it, you care about it. That is your ego. And now the second one, your shadow. Your shadow is like the complete opposite. It can be the attic, or it can be the basement. It's where you hide all of the things that you considered bad. And you never want to show it to anyone. It contains all of your soaked up feelings, all of those bad resentments that you never really want to show. Okay, got it? All right? It's easy. It's actually easy when it's facing the most basic way of the ego and shadow. Now that you guys got the hang of it, I'm going to explain the relationship between these two and why I want to mention them and why I think they are the roots, the culprit to our hypothetical feelings, to our what ifs, as I mentioned. Okay, I think it's time to get into my personal details, okay? When I was in high school, I thought I had the cool life, a very cool life. I had expanded social circles for 15 or 16 years old. I hang out whenever I want. I express my feelings. I was so confident. Confident in everything, actually. And when I started college, of course, everybody has to grow up. I moved to Saigon. I got into UF. And during my freshman years, it was also amazing. Honestly, I was so proud about myself. I had achievements. I had loads of friends who admired me. And I loved it. But then I finally got to a stage where I got out of my bubble. It was after my sister got married. I moved out alone. I got my own place. I elevated my job. I had a real decent job now, even though I'm just a second year. And then I moved in with my boyfriend also. I'm living with my boyfriend. Yeah. And I think it's great. It gave me a lot of experience, but honestly, we all know adulthood, right? We were teenagers once. We were college students once. Or you don't even have to be a college student. We all have that phase where we step into the world of responsibility. Sorry. Okay. So, responsibilities, it gave us stress. It gave us nothing but fear and stress, mostly. So for me, when I got out of the bubble, I stepped into that world. I was unstable now. All of my shadow, it was revealing. It was unraveling like an onion, layers by layers. And it was devastating for me. I could never accept that I am not that cool girl anymore that hang out at the bars at 11 p.m. anymore. I had to worry about money. And whenever I argue with my boyfriend about it, I always feel like I'm 10 years older. And that broke me every single time we had an argument. And I never really had the courage to speak up with my family, too. So I told you about the relationship, about the ego and shadow. So where is it, right? So here, after a few months of depression, I finally had a moment that I discovered my pattern. No, I discovered the pattern. The shadow usually appears, rises. When the shadow rises, the ego automatically suppresses it. It suppresses the shadow by raising your what-if questions. So how does that work? Why does it have to raise some what-if questions? Because when the shadow rises and your insecurity rises up, the ego is confused. It doesn't know what else to do. So it tries to analyze possible outcomes, the worst case scenarios, to make you think that you're in control. But actually, you're not. No, actually, you're not. I don't really have that happy face anymore whenever I had a mental breakdown. So you can see there, the ego and the shadow fights each other, and it causes tension. You have conflicts inside of your head. That is the culprit of what-ifs. What-if thoughts are not just a breeze in the air. It does not just go in and then go out. It's still there. It haunts you every night. So what did I do, right? So understanding the pattern is just the beginning. You have to get out of it. You have to find ways to not being ruled by those thoughts anymore. What will you do? Hear me out, okay? So we finally came to our final part of my speech. So I'm going to tell you about my first moment when I realized I can take control for the first time ever. I can take control of myself again. So I broke it down into 4 steps for you so you can easily understand. That one day, my boyfriend and I was arguing about money as usual, okay? As usual. Money, couples problems, we all have that. And that time was the most serious one. I was acting out. I was throwing stuffs. I was shouting at him. And then eventually he couldn't bear it anymore and he went out the door for 2 days. He never came back. He did come back afterwards, but yeah, you get the memo. So my situation at that moment, messy house, a dark, messy house. Me in the bathroom, locking doors, crying, messy hair, messy makeup, devastating. So what did I do? In my head, a question popped up. What if I just moved out? I never have to suffer this again. What if I just moved out, leaving him, leaving all of it behind? I didn't. Instead, for the first time ever, I observed. You observe your situation. That is really helpful. For the first time, when I look at myself at that moment, wow, I was, And then I acknowledge it. I acknowledged what I'm feeling at that moment. Anger, fear, few things, right? So what is this first step? Step number 1, acknowledge. Acknowledge first. You have to know. You have to acknowledge it. You have to give it space. Don't fight it. You have to let it in order for you to explore it. And then next, what did I do? Next, I asked a question to my shadow. Do you really want to move out? Is that what you really want? If your boyfriend is standing right in front of you at that time, would you still think that? Right? You ask question. Question is a powerful tool. You question to reorganize your logic at that time so you can become more stable. And then it hit me. Wow. I'm feeling the moment right now. I'm feeling the present. That present feeling. Okay. I'm getting emotional. And then once I got stable, I came to my third step. Can you guess what is it? No? More questions. Just more questions. I told you, questions is powerful. I questioned myself, what can I do in the next 5 to 10 minutes? What can I do in the next 5 to 10 minutes? So, hypotheticals is in the future. Anxiety is in the future. Your power is in the now. You have to take control over it. So just use questions. And it's never hurt to ask company from your friends or even strangers. Never be afraid of company. Humans are born to connect. We should never ignore that fact. And then, step number 4, practice self-compassion. This process is not going to work just overnight. You'll experience it over and over again. But for each time, you'll love yourself even more. You'll learn even more. And I think that's just the point of growing up, and that's where growth begins. Okay, so for my closing ending, I have a final sentence. There's always going to be a world out there calling for your name. And it's calling mine now too. Thank you for listening.